Hey there, Scott here. Welcome to Saws on Skates. To elevate my tool organization game, I recently installed a French cleat wall in my garage. So far I made a simple shelf, perfect for planers and sanders, and a holder for my jigsaw and extra blades. Next up, it was time to put an end to router roulette. You know the game I'm talking about. The dreaded, where did I put my router? And the constant struggle of rummaging through drawers for bits. This space-saving solution stores my handheld router within easy reach, and built-in holders keep my 1/4 and 1/2 inch bits neatly organized and ready for any woodworking task. This plan and hundreds of other easy-to-build projects are free to download on my website, sawsonskates.com. All my plans include a material list, diagrams, and detailed step-by-step instructions. To get your free plan to build this project, click the link in the description box below. While you're grabbing your plan, please leave a comment letting me know what French cleat holder I should make next. This project is made entirely from leftover 3/4 inch plywood. I recycled scraps from my previous French cleat tool shelf and jigsaw holder builds to save on materials. Using my table saw, I ripped a piece of 3/4 inch plywood to 10 1/4 inches. I cut one piece to 12 inches for the base using my miter saw. To give the project a more refined look, I marked the corners for 45-degree angles following the diagram in the printed plan. After adjusting my miter saw to 45 degrees, I cut both corners. The base has a hole to accept the router's bit. Following the diagram, I marked its location. Tip: measuring from both directions ensures the hole is centered from side to side. Using an awl, I made a starting point for the drill bit. My drill press didn't offer enough clearance between the column and spindle to make this hole, so I used my handheld drill instead. After installing a 1-inch Forstner bit in my drill, I clamped the workpiece to my workbench. I positioned the bit spur in the indentation I made with the awl. To minimize chipping on the backside of the hole, I drilled partially through the material until the spur barely emerged on the other side. Then, I flipped the workpiece, aligned the spur in the newly created hole, and finished drilling from the other side. The base has holders for 5/4 inch bits and 5 1/2 inch bits. Following the diagram in the printed plan, I marked their locations. Using an awl, I made a starting point for the drill bit. I started by installing a 1/4 inch Forstner bit in my drill press. Since I wanted the holders to be 1/2 inch deep and the plywood was 3/4 inches thick, I used a clever trick to set the drill press depth. I placed a 1/4 inch thick piece of scrap wood on the drill press table. I lowered the drill bit until its cutting edge touched the scrap, ensuring it would drill precisely the desired depth into the plywood. With the bit in position, I adjusted the depth stop. With the drill powered off, I double-checked its function, ensuring it stopped when it touched the scrap wood. With the drill still off, I lowered the bit into the indentation I made with the awl, clamped the base to the table, and drilled the first hole. I repeated this step for the remaining 1/4 inch holes. Forstner bits work best at moderate pressure and speed. Going too fast or applying too much force can lead to overheating, resulting in a damaged bit. I switched to a 1/2 inch Forstner bit, followed the steps I used to set up the 1/4 inch bit, and drilled the remaining holes. Following the diagram in the printed plan, on the opposite side of the bit holders, I marked the locations for pocket holes that connect the base to the sides. I set my pocket hole jig for 3/4 inch material and drilled one at each mark. The back and sides are the same width. Using my table saw, I ripped about 36 inches of 3/4 inch plywood to 8 3/4 inches. I switched to the miter saw to cut the back to 12 inches. Following the diagram in the printed plan, I marked the locations for pocket holes that connect the back to the base and sides. Using my pocket hole jig, I drilled one at each mark. I clamped the back to the base and attached it using pocket hole screws. Using the remaining material from making the back, I cut two pieces of 3/4 inch plywood to 9 1/2 inches for the sides. Following the diagram in the printed plan, I made marks at the bottom and the top and connected them with a straight edge. I used my sliding miter saw to cut the angles, setting it at 42 degrees as it appeared to be the closest match. If your miter saw has a smaller cutting capacity, you might need to use a circular saw instead. Tip: I set a stop so I could repeat the cut on the second side. I clamped the sides in position and attached them using pocket hole screws. To hang the shelf, I cut a French cleat to length and clamped it in position. After marking the countersink hole locations, I used an awl to make a starting point for the drill bit and then made the holes with a countersink bit. Using wood screws, I attached the cleat to the shelf. With this French cleat holder, those days of, "Where did I put my router?" and frantic bit searching is over. My router will be readily accessible, and bits will be neatly organized and within easy reach. To get your free copy of this plan and my other French cleat plans, visit my site sawsonskates.com using the link in the description box below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. It's one of the best ways to support my free building plans.